So the last thing you guys had done, you'd come in here, you'd found that he had broken up a bunch of his furniture. There's little to no furniture left in here. He was using that for firewood. I think it was Lilith investigated and found some notes and some papers that pretty much was his mother's last will and testament that bequeathed the house and all of her clearly not particularly worldly belongings to her son. He was a limner's assistant, which is an artist's assistant, which, as you can imagine, isn't a very well-paying job at all. So he has little to nothing. And now, of course, it doesn't really matter because he is deceased, courtesy of the anti-Tolgar. So, our heroes have gone to his house, found the door unlocked, investigated, and this is kind of where we pick them up. Hi,
Nice.
I cannot... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was
Jane.
just gonna go look out the window if there's a window.
There is a window, and it actually would be about here.
Yeah.
Oh, so you hear that too, Tolga? Say, I thought I might have been the only one.
I have a heightened sense for these wolves.
Okay. So looking out of the window, of course, what you can see is a row of houses on the opposite side of the street, just rows and rows.
Okay.
Far beyond that, is the farmland and stuff like that. But even with your great vision, you cannot see anything particularly ominous out there in the dark.
Alright. Something's afoot.
So you don't see any wolves that you apparently have a heightened sense for?
No, not yet.
Oh, yes, okay. Yes, because
They travel in packs.
Oh,
Very
also,
good.
let me
Yes.
send Luke a message.
Good knowledge on your part, Tolga. Very, very impressive. Do you know any other wolf facts while we're here in this house?
They like the moon.
They like the moon. Ah, thank you. Very enlightening, Tolga. Thank you for that.
Just keep an eye out.
Will do.
Travel.
Thank you.
The shickles have started already. It can't bode well.
I love when Jane describes things.
It's not Jane describing things. It's Tolgar.
I know, it's one the same. Okay.
It's the same thing. Oh, Matt!
No, we lost Matt.
No, he's back.
I'm here.
All right. Okay.
I have a theory.
About the wolves?
No, about what happened here.
What?
Okay.
Perhaps we should go back to our room.
What?
You
Why?
Wow.
The room at the tavern. I could demonstrate my theory.
Yes,
Why
I think
can't
we're...
you just tell us now?
Because,
He likes to use his tricks and showmanship, I've found.
well, I would like to do something to Tolgar, which requires him to be in the room.
Oh.
I beg
Well.
your pardon? I mean, there's probably a bedroom in here. We'll wait.
Oh no, it's nothing to do with that. It has to do with the window overlooking the pond and where Tolgar slept the night before when this murder happened.
Ooh, well, color me intrigued, Emlyn. Yes, back to the room.
If you'll just entertain me while I open this door here. I'm gonna go ahead and check out this room really quick and seek first, before leaving the place we haven't fully inspected. And, like, check under the bed and in the little thing there, little nightstand. Looks like that used to be a bed, but it's no longer a bed.
Yeah, so basically you can see that a smaller bed has indeed been cannibalized, no doubt for firewood. There is still a larger bed. It's a little old and musty, but it is intact. There is a drawer on the little nightstand.
Checking that.
Okay. Inside, pretty much all you find is flint and steel and 6 candles.
This could be useful. No one's using him if he's dead. Okay.
Are you?
I'll buy it.
Okay, so You're going to liberate the candles and the
Yeah, I'm gonna
and the
take
flint
it.
and steel. Okay. Beneath the bed, there doesn't appear to be much at all. The only thing you notice is that one of the wooden slats is kind of busted and down to the floor in the center. So, again, the bed itself is in ill repair.
Poor. I'm just gonna. It was disappointing. Let's carry on.
Yes, I think as much.
Floors are filthy.
They are that. Yeah,
do
there's
not
muddy
think there's any-
footprints, both at the front door and the back door where the kitchen is.
Yes,
We did not
nothing's
have a
going-
woman to clean this.
Maybe he did, and she left him because he was a poor, sad soul of no value.
I mean, he may
Or
have.
the woman was his mother, who is dead.
Or that too, voice of the sky.
If you want to get too...
No matter how many times you call this poor chap an artist, he's still gonna be an artist. I'm just gonna.
Piss artist.
Is that the door out?
Uh,
I figured that's south, but I wasn't sure. South door. South
Yeah,
door.
Could be.
the area that you're in right now could loosely be described as the living room, except other than a table and a chair, that's about all that's left in it. The other door
Now-
would be the kitchen.
For him, no room's a living room, right?
No, it's these are dead rooms now.
Look,
All right,
this will
so-
only take a second. Trust me.
All right, so you go to the inn and go straight up to your room.
Yes.
All right. In that case, we will dispense with the inn and go straight upstairs.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I'm immediately going to go to the window that overlooks the pond, which I assume is over here.
Yeah. So basically, from that window, if you kind of either stand here and look in that direction, you can just about see the pond, or you'd actually have to open the window and lean out and look round the corner. Then you get a better view of the pond. But the pond is actually kind of north of here. But
Okay.
the way the inn is situated, from your window, you can look out and see the pond.
And this is a table in front of said window, right? Like a long table?
It's like a little raised bench.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually only about a foot off the ground.
And we are officially 2 stories up?
You are indeed. Well, you're on the third. There's the ground floor, the first floor, and the second floor. So
So how many feet down is that, would you say?
from here, you're
Yeah.
looking at about
20 feet?
25, 26 feet to the ground, maybe. Oh, no, maybe closer to 20, 22, because I'm counting all the way to the ceiling. So from the window, probably about 22 feet.
Okay.
To the wall.
Stop it.
So I'm going to turn around and immediately say, I'm not going to break out into song. Don't worry.
Oh,
That would have been okay with me.
yes, then I'm not interested anymore.
Well, what if Togar did murder the Limiter?
But
guy?
I didn't.
Why would he do something like that?
Well, what if he was enchanted to do so?
Oh.
There are spells that I've been reading in my book that allow you to control people.
Like from the wand that we found, yes?
On
The
foot
s-
pond.
The staff.
Yes, it's staff. Excuse
Yes.
me.
Oh, just a reminder, a mechanical reminder, breaking out of character just for a second.
Okay.
Remember that this is 5e. Magical items must be attuned to the person
Yes.
who's going to use them.
Mhm.
So remember
Okay.
that.
Okay.
The reason I bring that up is if at any point somebody suddenly says, I want to use that wand, it's not going to work for anybody right now because you are not no one has attuned to it. So just pointing that out as a mechanical thing. I know you guys probably know, but seeing as the last campaign was 3.5, and in 3.5, if it's yours, you use it. Thought I'd better point that out before In a dire situation, you do it, and then I tell you it doesn't work, and you say, you're a dick.
Well, I mean, we could say that.
I have a question about that, though, Imlin.
Yes.
Why would somebody enchant Tolgar to do this?
Well, because
Yeah.
we're on their scent, right? If this is the same operatives who are working for DeWindt, wouldn't it be fit to them to frame one of us for murder and get tangled up with the authorities?
Yes, but they would want us to get caught. Tolgar's axe wasn't bloody or anything.
Well, we actually don't know that, and we also used it after the fact, killing the mind flayers and the hooked or the horror things and the monsters down in the catacombs.
But wouldn't his axe have been bloody before that? Unless they enchanted him to clean it off. In that case, why would they do that?
True, although it wasn't it Tolgar himself who said that he likes his axe bloodied at all times?
I do. Now, it may seem weird as I like things in a particular order. I like my order of the axe to be bloody.
And you don't think walking back into the tavern with an axe with fresh blood on it would look weird?
Not if he used that window.
Oh, you thought he...
Really?
Oh,
I'm
but
It
gonna-
overlooks the ponds.
Can I
He
fit
gets
here?
enchanted. He climbs out, kills the cook. Well, that's another story that I read. Clue, whatever. Anyway, and then returns and climbs and enters. It was early in the morning, maybe.
Okay, if there's anything more suspicious to me than a guy carrying a bloody axe into a tavern, is doing it by climbing back in through the window.
If I did that, maybe there would be traces of blood around here.
Or maybe there's footprints at the bottom of the window. Quite a fall from you would leave a bit of a crater in the ground, I do believe.
I wouldn't fall.
No. You would ascend quickly to descend. Quickly to the ground,
Just gonna,
where you would leave an indention. So to
I'm gonna
speak.
see if my body can even fit through this window.
Oh,
I mean, if you
so
lift the window
somebody enchanted Tolgar to do this and then enchanted Thelonious to give him a levitation to do so.
No, he could. I don't believe this 20 feet would kill a man of his stature and strength.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
So.
Yes, no. Plus, Tolgar's mind would probably be the easiest to manipulate out of all of ours, if you get my meaning.
Speaking of which, why I wanted to come back here. Tolgar, can I?
What?
Can I, take over your mind?
Oh, yes. Splendid.
Thought you had done that already.
And Thelonious is going to take a
Funny,
seat right on the
funny.
bench and just look.
But I
Watch.
really want to see, because I've never cast. I mean, you've seen me cast a spell similar to it before, where a jagged magical effect appeared on their brow and their eyes glowed mad. Right? Well,
You can do that to me?
well, not anymore. I've been working with my studies to perfect it and make it more subtle. And I want to see if your eyes are noticeably different. Because remember, the guy at the store said you had a bloodthirst, your eyes were crazy. And I think that was an exaggeration because you're also not 8 feet tall. But they might have seen something in that gaze that was different.
Well, how do they look now?
Like you can kill all of us with a single thought, but you always look that way. I mean...
Oh.
So you want to experiment on him? All right, I want to see this.
Yes, me too. Please, proceed.
I don't know how comfortable I am with this.
I will have my unseen servant give you a massage afterwards as recompense.
Deal. My muscles are sore from the illithids that I defeated.
Yes, of course. Right. Okay, come over here.
Do I try to resist as I walk that way?
No, I want you to allow it. Don't worry, we're not going to do anything embarrassing. It's not like I have you hop on one leg and...
Don't! Especially not that.
No, I'm saying I'm not going to do anything of the sort.
Good.
Now, there's a supplemental part, Thelonious, that I want you to observe. It has to do with direct takeover, so I'm going to I'm gonna dominate Tolgar, and I'm gonna get a little smirk. I know how that sounds, but I'm also going to enter his mind to take control at a later stage, and I want you to see if his eyes change or are affected in any way, shape, or form.
Lilith, yeah. Would you like to borrow my whip?
But yes,
I'll get up and take a seat closer, and be like, all right, I'm in perfect position to view the eyes. You may start when ready, Emlyn.
So I'm going to say Dominatus. And I'm going to cast Dominate Person on him.
Okay. So Tolgar, basically, you can choose to allow it, or you can do a wisdom save, which you'll need a 17 to resist anyway.
I'm gonna try to do a wisdom save.
All right.
Really, Jay?
I would probably try to resist anything that feels weird.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Even if I said
Makes
not.
sense.
Needless to say, yeah, that's not happening.
Okay.
Okay. You're able to enter Tolgar's mind as easily as a small child enters a cookie jar left on the table and his parents have gone out.
What terrible parents, first of all.
They're just outside. Okay, they're just outside checking the mail. They're coming right back.
So at first I'm just going to see... I'm not in it to like read his mind, because I pretty much know what Tolgar's thinking at all times. Like, that's not... But do his eyes change, or are they glazed over? Any like physical change happen? Is my question.
As in like when you cast the spell on him, does he... pretty much about the only thing that happens is he kind of goes from...
And then the second...
He noticeably becomes a little bit more blank. But that's it. There's no like glowing of the eyes, no noticeable physical change.
And then I'm going to use my action later and take total and precise control of Tolgar. And Tolgar, I'm going to look at Thelonious and be like, anything.
I'm looking. Do I see anything different about the eye?
Not once he starts saying anything. Because almost instinctively, as soon as the Tolgar voice comes out, the brow furrows anyway. So it's like...
And I'm gonna relinquish the spell.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not doing anything else except silly hand gestures while that's happening.
Okay.
Did I kill anybody?
No, and I did not see any difference.
The entire town is gone, Tolgar.
Oh,
you beast.
good. We were meaning to do that later.
Well, I mean, I honestly was going to have you climb out the window and jump down, but you know that. I mean, as Thelonious said, I think you could do that anyway, right?
Gore, as they're talking, I am gonna open the window and look down to see if there is sort of if Tolgar would have fallen from that height, if I could notice.
The ground down there is pretty solid, and from up here, bearing in mind it's dark,
okay.
You really couldn't see much. You'd have to probably go down and actually examine the grass beneath the window.
Okay.
Also, what you do notice, however, is there is a flower bed directly beneath that window. So the odds are, if he did drop down, there would be footprints, because the flower bed is nice, soft, fertile, squishy earth.
Okay, and you're saying I can notice there aren't, or just that...
You can see the flower
to
bed,
inspect it.
But because it's dark and you're 20 feet up, you can't really see, close enough to know if there's actually footprints or tracks or anything down there.
All right, I'll walk over to Kyla and say, would you like to be helpful for a moment?
Yes.
Well, please, follow me downstairs. We're going to examine things a little closer, and you being a ranger, I thought maybe you might help with tracking to put an end to this theory Emlyn has.
Yes, I am 75% sure that I'm wrong, but it was a fun thought experiment.
Quick, cover your ass before they prove you wrong. Yep, got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if we are to really look into it, we'd find out that it was just that dwarf from the other day on stilts.
Yes, right.
Okay,
Yeah, so we'll...
Emlyn, Kyla and Thelonious, you guys want to go downstairs and go out the tavern and go
inspect it,
around and look at the side. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right, what's everybody doing while they're doing that?
I'm gonna sit down and like strum my fingers along the table in like kind of frustration.
Okay.
I believe you owe him a massage, and I'm gonna start going through the papers that I stole from Renaud.
Okay. All
Right. So I'm gonna start my ritual to cast Unseen Servant. So it's gonna take a while.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you have to wait 10 minutes for your massage, Tolgar.
Oh, I'll go look for blood by this window then.
Okay. So you're searching like to see if there's any blood droplets that may or may not have dripped down from a freshly used axe.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a check of the perception type.
Okay.
Doesn't seem to be any, to be honest. You have a good look around and you don't see anything that looks to be
Fair enough.
a blood stain or anything like that.
I wait for my reward.
Okay, Lilith. So you start. You stole those notes that were in the little folder with the piece of string wrapped around to tie it nice and tight from Sergeant Renaud's desk. Okay. So it appears to be a case, almost like a case file, in which it details. It seems to be at least a couple of years old, and it details the disappearance of several children from Horrendon on the Mere late at night. You see notes that refer to the fact that they found scratch marks outside some of the windows, and several kids had vanished completely, but nobody seemed to figure out what happened to them. The case is still open. Nobody ever managed to solve. The last notes that you read basically says, "And it stopped as suddenly as it began. There have been no more strange disappearances." So there we go. That's basically what those notes were. Which, of course, most of you probably could figure out what that's all to do with. If you're a long-time viewer of at least a few campaigns. All right. Meanwhile, let's go outside the inn with Kyla and Thelonious Conch.
Kyla and Theo.
All right.
Doing stuff together.
Out on patrol.
Okay. Right, so yeah, basically, your window is level with this. It's kind of in the same position as this window, but 2 flights up from here. As you can see, there is a beautifully cared for and meticulously kept flower arrangement all the way along the side here of all different kinds of flowers. Somebody clearly has a green thumb and is interested in horticulture and such. All right, so again, it's dark, but now you're a lot closer. You can kind of move some of the flowers to the left and the right, and look for any visible footprints. I don't think that this is a tracking roll, because I think dirty, great big Tolgar footprints that were embedded probably about 4 or 5 inches into the ground would be more discoverable by somebody who just paid attention and had a good route around. So, perception for both of you guys.
Okay.
All right.
Perception or in perception? Okay.
Perception check, yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
I knew it!
We did it, man.
absolutely knew
We
it.
did it.
Welcome
Hey.
to 2!
Welcome.
Natural 20!
As I said, it's always the way. Whoever gets the least amount of votes typically rolls the first 20.
And on the most useless thing to discover.
So, Batty 808, you won 200 gold because you had faith.
You had
What if
faith.
we find?
Yeah.
What
I
if,
did not.
what if we find Porthan Dwint in this flower bed? Not that. Not that useless. Pretty good find.
Oh, this flower looks an awful lot like someone's foot.
He just has
Okay.
a flower on
An
his
entire
head.
All right. So what? With your eagle eyes do you ascertain? Well, clearly, this soil has not been disturbed for days. The top of the soil is fairly dry. It is very even. Whoever maintains this flower bed is meticulous about even raking all the dirt nice and neat. Enough for you to know that if Tolgar dropped straight down without pushing away and landed here, that definitely didn't happen. In and around the area just past the flower bed, there's no tracks or no deep indentations of a 300-pound, 6'6" barbarian landing on the ground from 20 foot up. You're pretty sure that Tolgar did not go in or out of that window. If he did, he didn't touch the ground.
He flew. Well, I think we could safely put this theory to bed, yes?
Yeah, it's more likely that Tolgar doesn't remember sleeping with Lilith, and Lilith is actually the one who killed him.
Right, went back up to the room.
Not that I'm
then.
suggesting that's at all likely or anything.
No, well, I mean,
All right.
who knows?
Because I don't think Lilith would be alive if...
She's a bit of a tart. Bit of a
Heart.
This is a side of you I don't remember.
What? What do you mean? Is she not? Am I wrong?
I mean...
Not being judgmental. I'm just stating a fact that everyone I believe is more or less aware of.
Anyways.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So you go back up to the room.
About this time, I'm finishing up my ritual, and I just look at nothing, and I say, massage the big guy.
You look at the nothing and command it, and it goes, eh.
Nothing?
So like a few seconds later, Tolgar's gonna feel like formless kind of pressure on his back, kind of doing a massage.
To the tune of
Hate
about
this.
30 pounds per square inch.
It's not enough pressure.
Strength of 2, yeah, that's not... You have a squirrel crawling down your back,
This
basically.
is worse than not getting a massage.
This was teasing.
You just you lean into it, Tolgar. It's not a lot of pressure, granted, but
Will I break
if
it?
you push back a little bit, it'll feel deeper, you know.
Okay. Ooh. Was that all intentional?
Sure. Yeah.
Alright.
Anything, guys?
He didn't do it.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
What if someone can do disguise, eh?
Oh, you mean like what Lilith can do with the altar ability?
I don't know. Do we know anyone at all sort of, in any way, kind of like Lilith, that might be hanging out with Porthanderwind?
What about that lady who hates Lilith?
Good point.
Who is almost exactly like Lilith.
Excuse me, she's nothing like me.
It's not what I heard.
From me?
I mean, Thelonious can do something like that, right?
I can do many things, yes. What is it?
I don't think you have the strength, though.
I have plenty. I mean, if you mean strength of the arcane, I have more than all of you put together.
No, but to cleave a person in twain.
Well, I think if I got just the right angle and enough of my body weight behind it, I could do something close.
Lean into it.
Yes, exactly. Oh, very good. Yeah, see, lean full circle, lean into it. I like it. It was
I
not
guess,
me.
The thing I'm struggling is with his there doesn't seem to be any motivation. What reason would you have to kill a guy who has nothing to give you?
keep us here longer, obviously.
Yes, slow us down.
Yeah, I thought that was already established.
Right.
The
But
guard said that I couldn't leave.
Well, we couldn't leave anyway because we're waiting on the priestess. Bitch.
but killing someone of his status, where if you killed someone with a family, they'd be more likely to keep us, since he's generally uncared for, except for a man in Bamforth who may or may not come and claim his body. This is a half-assed attempt to keep us, then.
Well, it is working.
Well, what if it was more an opportunity? Like, he was out by the pond trying to get his really horrible painting skills up to par to make a living. And the person who wants to frame Togar saw it and was like, well, this is perfect. And then did it.
Good point.
I
Well, I give up.
And is this related to the outbreak in the jail? Or is this something separate?
I feel like it was done possibly to get people out of the jailhouse. Maybe specifically Renaud.
Well, the issue with that is they only noticed he was gone once we arrived, which means we only arrived... If his magic was done in the order I'm thinking, we showed up quite a little bit after he actually escaped.
But they didn't seem to notice until we were already there.
No,
And I didn't see anyone run out of the place, so...
I thought he escaped while we were talking to Renaud about the murder.
Well, that's when they noticed.
It happened right away.
I know, I think he was gone much before that.
No, the guy, didn't he say, I looked away and then looked back and he was gone?
Yeah, but
And
they
he
also
lost
thought
time.
it was
Well,
later.
Yes, they lost a chunk of time there as well.
Well, Thelonious, I thought you, what is that spell? If it was a spell.
Well, I don't believe I know off the top of my head exactly what it is, but I know that there are definitely spells that exist that do either alter people's memories or make them lose track of chunks of time so that they do not remember. It's a very, very clever spell to cast if you're trying to break someone out of a prison, for example. Could have been just a simple sleep spell, something stronger, something along those lines.
Okay.
But it was interesting, though, that those guards at the top of the stairs did not lose track of time, but the people downstairs did, and he escaped, and the only exit or entrance was through that room with the 4 guards, who did not lose track of time.
Right,
That is quite possibly the best nutshelling I've ever heard.
Well, that's where we stand.
well, also the guardsmen at the front lost track of time too, so it affected a room, not the next room, and then all that
Yes.
jail.
So those guards just could have been helping, so they didn't get the spell cast on them.
It is possible. It is very possible.
So we should follow them.
Yes, or just maybe interrogate them a little more.
You think they were
bluntly.
able to get all 4 guards that were in that room in the pocket?
Why not?
That's kind of a big risk, don't you think?
Or 2 of them sent the other 2 away into the other room while it went down, right? I mean, go have a coffee break, you 2, and then they stay there and are accomplice.
Yes.
Well, if I was, say, trying to escape from a prison, and I was there for about a day and a half, then I would think maybe I would notice the guard rotations and decide maybe while these are changing out that way, or maybe they've gone to go do something that they tend to do on a regular basis because they're a bunch of underpaid lowly guards, maybe in that time I would seek to make my escape.
Yes, and didn't he say, when we caught him, that he would make us rich beyond our wildest dreams? So it seems like perhaps he could be a man of great wealth that could possibly pay handsomely for his escape.
Wealth, connections, and talents. None beyond yours, of course, because you made him. Yes.
So perhaps we follow up with those guards again or something? Unless anyone has a better idea.
Have I heard any wolf sounds lately?
Not since you left that house and came back to the tavern, no.
Okay.
Well, it's late, right? It's late.
It's pretty late now. It's like late evening. The moon is high in the sky. It's about 3/4 full. So there is some light outside. But, it's pretty... The festival is still going on. There, you can still hear music out the window. But you've definitely kind of heard and seen people coming back into town from the festival and stuff like that. So even that's pretty much winding down at this point.
I have an interesting proposition, Fursel. And
sure.
None of us are going to like it. Tonight we should probably spend in a jail cell.
No, thank you.
What?
That way they know where we are. And if we have to brainstorm anywhere, being on the site of the escape might be alright. But if we're in a jail cell and this were to happen again, they would know where we were.
Well, then why don't we just post a guard up front of the room? We could sleep in here, not on a jail cell. They have someone who could vouch for our whereabouts. Wouldn't that be a better alternative than sleeping in a jail cell?
It's not as thorough, but it might work.
Kyla, you need to realize that 3 of us in this room have been in jail. And it was not pleasant, and I would not go back there.
What, you, me, and who?
So that makes 4.
So 4, then.
What is
Thelonious?
this we have to stay in a cell business? Tolgar's the one that killed a guy.
Yeah, but what if we wake up tomorrow
I
Lilith,
didn't.
and someone else is being framed for another murder? Oh, his head got popped clean off by a whip. By a beautifully glad lady of the night.
Then I probably did it.
Just like I gaff at the notion of Tolgar being accused of murder when that's exactly what he is. Well, Kyla, us 3 are, well, maybe us 2. I don't know about you, Lilith, your status, but we're technically still fugitives. I mean...
There's no technically about it. You absolutely are fugitives.
Score!
You're technically...
I just want to make sure you are aware of your technicality.
No, you're technically dead. I'm the
Lilith-
only one that's still a fugitive.
Lilith is not a fugitive.
Oh, that's right. I got pardoned. But
Lilith was pardoned
think
because
they're-
she stayed behind.
but you guys are dead, so...
Yeah,
Well, we're dead fugitives.
yeah. Yeah, the authorities in Corthan believe you deceased, which is, to your advantage for sure. And Lilith got pardoned, so...
It's so hard to be good.
Why you
Tell me about
try?
Well, just so that we can get through this without having to fight the law the whole way.
Well, you fight the law with smiles and scones.
Precisely.
Yes, very good.
See, I've learned, Thelonious.
Yes, you have. Very good. You are a great...
The cave life has been rough.
You are a good student of life, Emlyn.
You can get more with a kind word and a scone than just a kind word.
I
So
like that.
Let's get some fool to be our watchman. We go to sleep, and I think one of us should stay awake too, just in case.
Right.
I'll be the watchman.
I'm pretty sure tomorrow we're gonna come across another crime. I just have a feeling.
That or a whole bunch of angry squid men. In which case, we should
Carrying
probably
stone
just leave.
sarcophaguses.
All right, well,
Steal a boat and leave.
Tilgar, get up. Let me lay down.
What?
You're a watchman. Watch from the bench.
Right, so go and, well, not bribe, what is it? Commission an officer, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm the one suited to do this.
Dead fugitive here.
All right, I'll go.
Living
It will be done. Do not worry. I will remedy the situation in our favor. I shall return. And I'm going to walk out and go try to find... Would Renaud still be at the jail at this time?
Who knows?
Okay, well then...
I mean, it literally, who knows?
Okay.
He's gonna go buy scones on the way.
Yeah, well, is the scone shop open?
Yes,
No,
because in medieval times, individual stores were known as the scone shop.
Yeah, ye old scone shop.
Yep.
Okay, I'll walk over to the...
Scones and cones. It sells scones and ice cream.
I'll go over to the jail cell and see
Oh,
if Renaud's
man,
still
though.
there.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay, so through the town you head to the militia house. All right. Get rid of people that are not here. And move you. All right. Okay, yep. So you arrive at the militia house.
Okay. And...
Okay, there is a guard sitting there. It's not the same guard that you saw earlier, but there is a guard sitting at the table looking mind-numbingly bored.
Yes, my good man. May I speak to, Captain Renaud, please? Is he in his office?
I believe he is.
Wonderful. So I'll just see myself in?
Just hold on. Who shall I say is dropping by?
Tell him it is the great and innocent Thelonious Khan.
Great and innocent Colonius. Colonius?
Thelonious Khan.
Salonius.
Close enough, yes. He'll know.
Salonius. Give me just a minute. Right, he enters through the door.
Colonius Stotch.
He comes back to the door and holds it open and says, yeah, he says, by all means, he'll see you now.
Thank you. I'll walk through, and as I walk through, I'm going to take a look at the guards and see if any of them are the same as they were from before.
Okay. All four of them are. It is the same set of 4 guards, because if you remember, they actually, some of them left earlier and went and did stuff and kind of took a break or whatever, and they've rotated back around. So these 2 here, give me, as you walk in, go ahead and give me a insightful check.
I can do that.
See if your insight is where it needs to be. Okay. They're both standing there, and it's like the 2 at the far end basically don't really bat an eyelid other than just look at the door as you walk through. The other 2, the one here and here, however, when you walk in, they're both like...
Okay.
Nothing much, just, you noticed a little surprised look on their face, and then a sudden reassessment of their stature. Okay.
Okay, as I go for the door, I'm going to kind of sidestep to this guard here.
He's
And
like...
Say, oh, I thought you noticed me when I walked in. Does my reputation precede myself? Would you like some sort of an autograph of or something along those lines? I'd be happy to do so.
Oh, no thank you, sir. Just happened to notice that you were in here earlier.
Yes. Oh, do you normally keep track of most people who come and go from this room?
No, it's just with it being So Harvest Festival, we typically don't have very much to do and get very many visitors. I mean, you've been in here at least twice.
Very good. How long have you been in here?
Well, see, I had morning shift, and we was here till mid to late afternoon, and then went home, had supper, took a nap, came back on about half hour ago.
Right. Well, just carry on. Keep up the good work and all that.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Good day.
And I'm gonna walk into Reynald's office.
All right. Okay. He's got paper. He's got paper laying all over the desk, and he's kind of scratching his head a little bit.
I'm gonna walk in. Captain Reynald, good to see you again. Just the man I was looking for.
Oh, hello. Thelonious. Was it?
Yes, very good. Yes, you pronounce it perfectly. Doesn't it just roll off the tongue, Thelonious?
Well, it depends on how your tongue rolls.
Yes, I guess you're right about that.
I've heard it. When you say it, it sounds kind of felonious.
Yes.
I have to really try to do it that way. For me, it just comes off as felonious. More of an F.
Well, that's fine. Everyone has their own...
as eloquent with the spoken word as you. I have other talents.
Not many people are, so it is forgiven.
He
The
puts
reason
down his
I...
quill. Yes, what can I do for you?
Yes, the reason I'm here, as we have been very dreadfully accused of such a heinous crime that none of my party would...
Only Tolgar was indirectly pointed out maybe involved in a crime. The rest of you were completely above suspicion at this point.
Absolutely, I misspoke. He, Tolgar, being accused of such a crime, which he did not commit, him having to stay here is sort of impeding what we need to do in the coming of days. So we were thinking that in order to keep an eye on things in case any other incriminating actions happen, you could perhaps post a guard or someone just as a lookout outside of our room to make sure if something else devious happens, you know that it is not any of us who committed the crime.
Don't really have the men to spare, but as I offered before, he's always welcome to stay downstairs. And that way, the guards that I have already in place can keep an eye on him.
But wouldn't it be prudent on your part to at least have someone watch a possible criminal, as he is not, but if you do suspect anything, wouldn't it be wise for you to at least keep an eye out for him?
It would, but if you think that is necessary, then perhaps I should insist that he's brought here.
Well, it is more
so that
for...
he can be more appropriately kept an eye on.
No, do not twist my words, Captain Reynald, please, thank you. It's more for us to sleep soundly, so that we can speed up the process of being able to be allowed to leave.
How would that speed things up?
Then you would know that we are not who you are looking for, who committed all of these acts that you have accused him of.
Well, to be frank, I haven't actually accused him of anything. I merely stated that somebody fitting his description committed this crime. In fact, I believe I said that I don't actually believe it's probably him.
So then we are free to go?
No. Not until the investigation has come to its full conclusion, because as much as I'd like to believe that you good, upstanding citizens are not in any way involved, I could be mistaken. So until I'm sure, we must insist that he stays here in town. Because I trust all of you based on your past actions, this is why I didn't insist on having him under lock and key, you see.
Yes. Well, before I go, would you mind if I just asked a guard of yours out in the other room a question?
By all means.
Okay, just don't want you to be surprised if you see me speaking to him.
By all means.
Absolutely, thank you. So I'll kind of sashay my way out of the room, and I'm going to turn to this guard, and I'm going to cast Suggestion
Okay.
So I'll throw that up there. And I will just very calmly and quietly as I can, just lean over and say, if there is anything you are not telling me about something that happened in this room that you are keeping from me, I think it would be wise for you to do so now.
He goes, well...
Yes?
Me and him across there by the door may or may not have accepted a bribe in order to let somebody else in here earlier today. And the other bloke goes, what? What are you talking about? Oh, I don't know what he's on about. He's lost his bloody mind. And then he looks as shocked that he said it as the other guy does.
I'm going to burst back into the room of Captain Renauld and say, Captain Renauld, accost these two men immediately! As I point back into
they're
the house.
already at the door by now. I don't know what he's talking about. He's making it up. He did something. He did something to me. He did. I know he did.
I'm going to step back again.
Calm down. What's all this about?
Captain Renauld, you asked me if I could ask a question to the god, which I did. I asked him straight up if he had anything he wanted to tell me, and he told me that he accepted a bribe to break the man out of the prison below that escaped earlier today.
He leaps up and kind of storms over and looks at them both. He says, which one? This one? And he points to the man that was holding the crossbow. And then he says, or this one? And he points to the man holding the
well,
pipe.
he said that both of them had a part in it. It's a two-man job, possibly more. Who knows how deep it goes?
Is this true? No, not at all, sir. No, I don't know what he's implying. And you see the other one sort of looking at him rather dubiously.
Look at their faces. Look. Liars, the lot of them.
Right. I just pictured the Holnies being like, Captain Renault! Captain Renault!
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Mummy!
Look at me in the closet,
Renault
Captain
moves
Renault.
in really close and says, now, lads, you've known me long enough. If either of you, in any way, shape, or form, did do what this fellow behind me says you did...
No need to count.
Do you throw anything? No. A scone?
Accusations.
He says, if if this man is telling me the truth, he goes, you best come clean now. Make things easy on yourselves, lads. Well, it's not like we're particularly well paid, sir. We haven't had a decent wage raise in, as long as I've been a guard. And what happened was this fellow, he came in, and he said, we need a couple of guards to come and help us out with a wagon. Not you two, but if you can get a couple of your fellows in the main room there to come and assist us, we'd be greatly appreciative. And then he gave us 20 gold crowns apiece. Well, we convinced the other two to leave. And then while they were gone, he said, if you don't mind, here's another 5 gold. A friend of mine is incarcerated and I just wanted to check on him. So we said, well, fair enough, and opened the door and he walked down the stairs. And then a couple of minutes later, he came back and nodded at us and said, have a good day, and he left. And that's it. I mean, nothing happened. No harm. He didn't come out with the prisoner or anything like that. There was no breakout. I mean, he came out by himself. He looks and he says, you two better go home. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Wait. You're going to let them leave?
He says, I am.
What if they make a run for it? Lock them up. We have questions to ask.
Don't worry about that. Off you go, lads. Yes, sir. And you see Reroll just kind of put his hand back towards you and seems to be waiting quietly and patiently. Then he pops back out and he goes up here and you hear him talking to the other two guards.
I'm going to come out.
Follow them, will you? Make sure they do go home. And if they go anywhere else, apprehend them. Especially if they try to leave town. Yes, sir. They go rushing off out the door behind them.
Well, quite a turn of events here.
Indeed seem rather curious, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So a man went... I suppose the reason... Why would he have gotten two of them to... Perhaps simply he didn't feel like he could afford to bribe all four. Or perhaps he knew that the other two were much more... less likely to be bribed. After all, they've been guards a lot longer.
Yes, he took the time to stake out his marks, which...
But yet nobody downstairs, or the person at the front door, acknowledged that anybody else entered the room.
Yes, we believe some sort of magic was cast to make people forget.
So you think that this individual came in, cast his spell in the front lobby to somehow mesmerize one guard, then went downstairs and mesmerized a couple more guards, and then came out by himself. Now, what would have been the purpose of that, I wonder?
Well, they say he came out by himself, but obviously the prisoner was with him in some fashion.
Oh, you think he was not able to be seen?
Possible. I
Or,
can
of
do...
course, these two guards are lying, seeing as
That
everybody
too,
else apparently was blacked out.
We cannot trust a single word they say, unfortunately.
No, I think
but
we
there
have
is...
more question. Once
There
we
is a-
find out if they've gone home or whether they're dragged back here, I think we need to pay a visit.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I gather the rest of my party? I'm sure they'll want to know all about what happened here.
Oh, by all means, go and tell them. I'll take care of things from here.
Thank you, sir. And I'll return back to the inn.
Incidentally, I appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much.
The pleasure is all mine, thank you. I appreciate the
The
appreciation.
individual in question, Valma Falcio, the one that you captured initially, as you've probably ascertained, is quite a dangerous and notable criminal. In fact, we were keeping him here until Parendevra, the Reeve, could arrive, and he was going to be escorted under significant men-at-arms to Iridian. And there he was going to be tried by the High King's Court and appropriately sentenced. You see, he's done some very, very naughty things in his lifetime. Very naughty indeed.
Like, give me one example, the naughtiest one you have, please.
It'll all come out in public knowledge anyway. He broke into the Royal Vizier's chamber and very nearly made off with an incredibly valuable artifact of such. He didn't. He was captured. But before he was appropriately apprehended, he vanished and disappeared. Nobody really knows how or why.
What was the artifact?
I don't have the details of that.
Oh, yes, of course. Where was the artifact again?
In Iridian.
Yes.
The
Sorry.
The Royal Vizier.
Yes, of course. Sorry, I just wanted to get the
I'm
details.
not surprised he failed. That would be a foolish thing to even attempt. What I am surprised in is the fact that he got away.
How did he escape?
Well, that's exactly it. Nobody knows. He apparently just vanished.
Just like he possibly did here in your own town and jail.
Well, yes, but we don't know how. That's the curious thing. Well, unless this gentleman had something to do with it. You hear a bunch of kerfuffle at the front door. And basically, the two guards that left get frog-marched back in through the doorway with their weapons removed, somewhat bloodied. And the two guards that went after them are kind of standing behind them, also looking somewhat bloodied and holding their weapons. Well, sir, you called it. As soon as they got outside, they tried to scarper. Looks like they were heading down the main road to Bamforth. Fortunately, we knew what was going on, so we apprehended them. And they're both kind of looking at the ground, looking very solemn with themselves. Well, take them downstairs, lock them up. We've got some questions for you, boys. And they all end up going downstairs. He says, by all means, go and impart this information to your acquaintance.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Captain Ronaldo. You have been most pleasant and helpful.
No, pleasure is all ours. It is nice to see such visitors come here. Not only did you initially catch Balmer Falcio and net yourselves a nice reward, but you seem to be assisting us like nobody else has, in possibly unraveling how he managed to escape. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, I have given out the reward that we currently had, although I will point out, there is a non-local reward on his head. I, of course, wanted to apprehend him and keep him here, because it would look very, very good on me and my boys if we were the ones that had Balmer Falcio locked away safe and sound. But I do believe Iridian has a sum of 1,000 gold on his head.
Not bad. Not a bad price. Good. Thank you again for the information. I will keep that in mind. And I will return shortly with the rest of my group.
Well, fair enough then.
Right.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So after you're going to head. Okay. All right. So you're going to head out to. You're going back to the room. While all that's going on, is there anything you guys wanted to do in the room, or are you pretty much just content to rest up and peruse your books, your notes, whatever? Oh, wrong house.
Emlyn is just relaxing, maybe sleeping.
All right.
I mean, other than inviting Lilith back to bed, I don't know.
I'll be intently staring out the window the whole time, looking for wolves.
Looking for wolves? Yep, you find nay wolves. Or see nay wolves.
All right.
I think we're just waiting for Thelonious to come back.
Yeah, I'm just fixing a map or two.
Repair.
All right. Yep. Okay. So you guys wait. It's been a good hour and a half, but then eventually you hear podgery old footsteps coming down the hallway.
Conjuring old footsteps.
And enters Thelonious enters your chamber.
And as I burst through the door, oh, you're Thelonious Conch, the conquering hero is here who figured out the mystery all by himself. You're welcome, everyone.
Oh, did you?
What?
Oh, I did. Yes, indeed I did. I figured, Thelonious, it would be good if you took a walk to clear your mind so that the answer could come to you when you just opened yourself up to the rest of the universe. And that's exactly what happened.
So you know who framed him?
Who? Yes. Well, we've gotten a start. I figured, being the benevolent partner that I am, I figured I would invite you in on the fun.
Which is?
Well, the 4 guards that were in that room, 2 of them were bribed by someone. The briber walked downstairs, walked back out alone, but that is when the prisoner vanished. So I figured we had some questions, we could all go down there.
Wait,
Unless
only
I-
2 of them?
Just 2, yes. Only 2. The 2 in the front, closest to the stairs going down to the jail.
And what happened to the other 2?
They were the ones who lost track of time, I believe.
There were 4 guards in the room?
Yes, the 2 closest to the door were bribed, and the 2 farthest, I believe, lost track of time. If I have that right? No? Do I not?
All
Do
4 of the guards in the one room.
Either way, you say we have some questions we get to ask now.
Yes.
And we are allowed to ask these questions.
Wait, there were 4 guards in the room. Only 2 of them were bribed. What happened to the other 2?
Have you been sleeping with the captain of the guard? How did you get this deal? I'm just gonna go ahead and start walking over.
I told you, I have my ways.
I mean, I was honestly hoping to keep sleeping.
You don't have to come. I figured just give you the opportunity.
Well, why can't we go tomorrow morning?
Well, last time, people were broken out from the jail cell. I figured we might want to do it now while we know they're in there before they disappear. We could take the chance if you want. It's up to you. I believe I have done more than my share. So if you want me to just continue myself, I have no problem doing that. If you are lazy or don't want to share,
Lazy.
your choice, I guess.
I will go with you tonight, tired as I am, if we can settle the issue with the staff. There's something I would like to say.
Yes? What?
Well, take a seat around the table.
All right.
It'll take but a minute, and
Oops.
I will convince you all that you don't deserve the staff.
Oh, well, please, convince away, Emmeline.
Yes. I've been thinking about this as well, and it's quite wonderful. You'll love me for it.
Sure, I will, please.
Kyla, Lilith, Tolgar.
What?
Okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm gonna hold the staff like this, like leaning between the 2 of them. I'm just like, whenever you say something that convinces me, I'll lean it towards you. Whenever you say something contrary, I'll lean it away.
Oh,
It'll be a game. Now go.
who starts this game?
I'm
Emmeline,
not-
I defer to you to start, please, by all means.
I
Do
have
we
no-
really have time for this?
Oh, yes, we do. We do. It's Lilith. This will be fun. It's a game of, well, superiority, I guess. But it's still fun. It's still fun. Thelonious,
Yes.
I will not threaten you. I will not attempt or threaten to torture you, even though I probably could. None of this will transpire in this conversation.
All right. Thank you.
The way you burst in here and woke me up from my nap tells me everything. Point of fact, you refuse to cast Levitate on a pig. It's beneath you, right? The pig is not worthy of your magical ability. Correct?
Am I allowed to respond?
Well, yes. I mean, but you did as much say that when we were going into the tunnels. You said,
Am I-
I'm not casting.
Am I allowed to have my counterpoint, or is this the point where I just say yes or no? I just want to know how this works. I'm unaware.
Oh, no, say your piece.
I just thought that having something magical in my possession and using something that has a finite amount of uses towards my party members rather than a pig would have been a better use for my skills, yes.
Fair enough. You have a tendency to sprinkle your spellcast with your name to show that it is of your own making, correct?
It's more, something has to be said a lot of times, but I just figured, yes, my name is one of the most powerful things I can think of.
Let's cut to the chase. You are arrogant.
I believe, arrogant is not the word. I believe, what could we say that would be better than that? I just have faith in my own skills. I am confident. I am confident more than arrogant. I believe everything I say I can do, I back up.
Right. And you don't realize how you entered here claiming you cracked the case, you solved everything. I mean, you don't see how that can reek of perceived arrogance. And I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you seem to want to show the world that you are more than capable.
I think we can all agree. Sorry to cut in, but I think we can all agree he is very arrogant.
I do not think arrogance is the right word. Arrogance to me exudes a grandiose, boastful nature that cannot be backed up. But I believe at this moment I am just simply stating a fact. That
He's obnoxious at any rate. Continue.
Sure, obnoxious. Maybe I'll give you obnoxious, but anything else might be stretching it a bit too far. But please continue.
Here is my working theory. If you were to acquire a magical item, I imagine you would utilize it as subtly as possible to show the world that it is of your making, not the magical item. I don't think you'd be of the sort to say, look at this magical wristband, it can do this. You would use the magical wristband and say, look at what Thelonious did. This is what I see when I look at you. It's how you pursue magical items. I don't think you do that to do it overtly. I think you do it to be subtle, and you're quite charming and persuasive. And I'm not faulting you this fact. Now look at that staff. It has a blue glowing thing on the very tip. Mm-hmm. If you were to use said staff, I'm pretty sure that glowing thing will glow brighter. I think the staff is beneath you. I think it is a crutch to you. Not only does it do what you can already do by yourself, it is a very obvious way of showing the world that you need it to do things. Because you will have to show the world that it is doing it, not you. There's no being subtle with this staff unless you stick it up your shirt, and then you look like a silly old man with a staff up your shirt.
Well,
that is why I think it will not do you any good, because you will basically be acquiescing your own your superiority to the world, which I don't think is becoming of your character.
Well, Emlyn, as moving as a speech as that was, and I do give you credit, for a perhaps lesser man, it might have worked. Unfortunately, I do believe there is a very major difference between a crutch and a tool. Okay? Now follow me here.
Emlyn's definitely a tool.
Someone who uses a crutch is something to make someone do less, to make someone have their job be easier and less efficient a lot of times. A tool is something that can enhance one's own abilities already. For example, if you were to get from point A to point B and you used a horse, which we've used before, would you consider that a crutch or a tool?
Okay, can you pull a magical horse out of your ass?
No. My point being is this. The staff would be a tool for me to enhance my own abilities.
But it's
already.
not enhancing.
It is. It allows me to have a...
Can you comprehend languages by yourself?
Is this a battle of wits for the staff?
By yourself? Can you charm by yourself?
Really
the
quick.
staff apparently can do those things as well, and you could already do them. So you're not making it a tool. You're just stealing things that maybe more in the party would need to do or want to do at a given time.
As the officiator here, I'd like to say something really quick. Can you actually pull a magical horse out of your ass? If you can, I'd like to see it. That might get you the staff, yeah?
Oh, well, in that case, I'm going to reach behind my robe and kind of dig around a little bit, and I'm going to very quickly cast something and pull out from Minor Illusion a little tiny horse on my hand.
My God, you're right. He does say it every single time he casts something, doesn't he?
Yes, he is arrogant.
No, it needs to say what do you want me to do? You want me
Staff
to...
goes to Emlyn. That's the end of it.
Wait, this was a battle of wits? You mentioned being a lesser man. I think this is supposed to be a contest of who's the bigger man.
Well, obviously me, as he's a little...
Well, actually, the bigger man is Tolgar.
But
I am the
Tolgar-
largest man.
Do you want him to have a hold of that staff, though?
I want him to have me have control of that staff so I can make the tribe what I promised him it would be.
Emily,
I
When
think
I
the only
found
one-
the staff myself.
Emily,
I think the only one who is a good judge of who the bigger man is would be me. So I propose that you
really
both
how you want to
kiss
settle
me, and whoever can stay standing is the winner.
What? What? What
Oh.
kiss you? What is this? What have I walked into? I was trying to help everyone just by letting you know, and all of a sudden I'm lambasted by questions and accusations about my demeanor and my character, and I do not
Are you
approve of any of
saying
it.
no?
No, not necessarily. I just
I'm also not. I'm also saying that what I said of you, I did not say as a disparaging way. I think it's perfectly fine and admirable and amusing. I don't think you being arrogant is a crime against humanity, because let's be honest, I wish most of humanity would be dead. Or at least corrupted to our
Emily,
means.
if this staff is so important to you, you may have it. Really, please, I do not. If it's not worth it, you can have it. Please, just take it.
I like how you all thought that there was a chance that Thelonious would have this in the first place, when I already said I would take it. I'm just confused by this whole conversation.
See, and that's what I was waiting for. Here you go, Emlyn.
But what's interesting to me is I haven't voted, but I've been watching the votes go in, and it's like dead. Chat was dead tied. It's like 50% on who they wanted to go to. So,
Lilith, if you did want to test what you had asked about earlier, I believe it would be just for fun at this point. Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, I figured the first one's gonna not stay standing anyway.
Well, now I have to do it, just as Matt here. You told me I can't do it, now I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Then, come hither, my lady.
This is so great. Oh man, this is awesome.
All right.
Gosh.
So what am I rolling here?
Tolgar, be ready to
that would
catch
really
it.
depend on what Lilith does.
Well, I mean, he's got to kiss me first.
Well, okay, so as I move
What is
closer,
happening?
you can see the little warts, I'm sure, on my face and the little liver marks,
Just a little
just
tremble to the one. It just
just-
shakes a little.
one little spare whisker that's kind of more miskempt than the others, just kind of as I come in for it, like real
What
grim.
is it?
I've
What
got
is
a feeling I know
happening?
what's coming.
Yeah.
All right. So as he leans forward, I'm just gonna straight up just grab this old man and plant one on him.
Okay. Are you doing anything?
I absolutely am.
Are you doing?
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to give him a quote-unquote kiss?
Yeah.
All right.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die. He's the one who was going to die. The
Fortitude
tower
save,
was his own tower that he built in the minutes of going in for the kiss.
You need a fortitude save of 15 or higher, Thelonious.
It's actually 16 now.
Oh, it is 16 now, isn't it? Yeah.
A fortitude?
Yeah.
Is that a constitution, or where's fortitude on here?
That's going to be when it comes to your saves.
Yeah,
You are going to be a constitution.
constitution. Okay, that's what I thought. All right.
Oh no.
Ooh.
5d8 plus, what's your charisma, Spook?
4.
5d8 plus 4 damage to Thelonious Conch. Don't kiss this bitch. 34 points of energy drain.
All right.
Basically, yeah, that kiss kicks.
Hey,
so,
How many
guess
hit points
what?
were you on?
I'm fine. I was on 48.
All right, so you were on 48, so you have
Yes.
14 left. Okay.
Correct.
So yeah, he's still standing, but
No, betrayal. Betrayal, though.
betrayal.
Stun for 1d4 round.
Let's make a willpower saving throw now.
Oh, so willpower?
Well, at second level, a thrall of Malkuth that attacks are particularly devastating to those who believe her to be an ally, which you do.
Which I do.
If she ever deals damage to an ally with weapon or spell, make another willpower save. So, DC is 8 plus. So yeah, another 15.
Con save again?
This
Willpower.
is willpower.
Okay, so is that intelligence?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay.
Best of luck.
Roll a d4.
Okay.
And you are out
Okay.
cold for 2 rounds. So,
For 12 seconds?
so
I just
you're
pass out.
basically. I mean, literally, when she grabs you and kisses you, you literally feel your life's energy like reeking up outside of your body and coming through your mouth as you begin to wither and feel sickly. At the end of that, you're basically, as she kind of like pulls away, you're just like, ugh, and you're out.
That probably would have happened even if she wouldn't have cast anything on that case.
Oh, that's
I'm
hard.
gonna.
Ooh.
Who's
Yes.
next?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I
well,
believe
he's-
I had you for the evening.
finally the fight he was waiting for after a disappointing day at the ring.
He won. Yeah.
Oh, Thelonious.
I'm gonna say.
If
You're right, that
Kyla's
was-
word meant anything, then yes, technically, Tolgar won you for the night.
That word is about
Oh
as
my
meaningful
gosh,
as
that's so
experts. You have to believe. The staff is by now in Emlyn's hands.
People.
You're right. That was fun.
Yeah, poor Thelonious eventually is like, what?
Should we
Starts
give
to
him
come around.
a drink of that potion?
I think he's deserved it after all he's been through today.
He does deserve it, because he did find some things out and give us a lead.
I don't know if that'll help.
Well, he might still have a headache, right? But
Actually, I have to find it, but my draining kiss specifies that the damage doesn't go away until a long rest.
Oh.
Yeah, because technically, the damage lasts
Think might
until
be
the
right.
victim performs a long rest. So basically, there's no actual damage done. Its life is drained from him, and until he
This is
actually
excellent.
rests for 8 hours, it doesn't come back.
Psychic damage. Have you ever been kissed that good?
Or that bad, depends on your point of view.
Where'd my teeth go?
So
Shall we?
Thelonious probably needs a good night's rest at this point.
yes, Thelonious, do you want to go now to investigate, or do you want to sleep in that bed? Which I will happily give you.
Yes, maybe just, if I just lie down for just a moment. It's been a long day for me. It's all of the mystery solving has definitely taken it out of me.
Something took it out of me.
You know, I'll go over to the bed.
All right. Okay. So, what's everybody else going to do? You just going to wait and go in the morrow, or?
No, I think we're going in tonight, right?
No, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for Thelonious to get better.
Okay.
We'll go tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll do a rest.
Yeah, I mean, you can basically, I'll get a good night's rest and go on the morrow, so.
I think Thelonious basically cleared our name anyway.
Yeah, so.
Told Armia to go into bed.
I'm going to, almost jokingly, I'm going to come up to Thelonious and go to give him a kiss goodnight just to see the reaction I get.
Oh, dude, I'm dead asleep at this point. I'm out.
Okay. Okay.
You could steal one. You could steal one from the old man.
Oh my god.
Then they'll look at his face and be like, I don't know, that mold just moved, and, yeah.
Gross.
There's a bench over here.
Okay, well, we're going to take that's a good, seeing as they're all going to get a long rest, that's a great place for us to take a quick break for this evening.
Did you attune to the staff, Emlyn?
I would have, yeah.
Okay.
Don't let him.
Poor, sorry, Snugs. I still love
Does it turn black and purple when you attune to it?
He can actually, you are a class that can attune to it. That's about it. Not everybody can attune to every item, so...
Dude, that'd be so funny if you couldn't even attune to it after all that. That was so
well,
good.
actually, Kyla couldn't have, and Tolgar couldn't have.
Yeah, it was really just us two, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, okay. So you guys make your way through town and arrive...
The guard house.
Yep, and I'm going to reposition these guys.
In the middle of Guard Street.
All right, okay. All right, well, a totally different guard is sitting there at the front desk as you all march in. And it's the guy that was there the first time you came in. He looks up at you and he says, "Oh, hello. Looking for Captain Reynolds?"
No.
Oh, what can I do for you then?
The two guards, the imprisoned guards.
Oh, yes, very unpleasant business that. Couple of our own doing mischief? Oh, dirty. Don't appreciate that sort of thing at all myself.
We have a few questions for them.
Oh, so you do need Captain Renault then. He'd have to give you permission to go downstairs.
Oh, we have permission.
Well, you say that, but do you have anything in writing? If not, I'm just going to have to get him to bless this.
Don't we have that document?
The contract, yes.
What contract?
We're gonna pull out that random contract we signed a long time ago.
That Renault asked us to sign. It was basically saying we were sort of deputized to investigate this situation. It's for the Illithids, but I'm just gonna point at it and be like, Renault made us sign that. Investigate the murders in town.
That'll do. Yeah, go on then.
Cool.
He's gonna see us on the way in anyway and be like, what are you doing?
What?
Yeah, he's kind of
I'm just
coming
gonna
out of
walk
this
in.
door as you've... good morning.
Morning. I'm just gonna turn and start heading downstairs.
Hold on a second.
What?
Which way did you come? Morning, may I ask?
We went straight from the tavern.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
which road did you come by? The southernmost or the northernmost road?
The middle.
That would be the southern one, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be the southern road if we would have done that.
Oh, the southern road is the southern road. We're the tents. The northern road is the farm.
Oh yeah.
The middle.
Middle road.
The
Neither.
middle
Okay.
road.
Didn't happen to see a couple of my guards, did you?
Let me guess. Someone else is dead in town.
Well, I don't actually know that for sure.
Oh god.
Late last night, couple of the guards that were patrolling did not return. They should have been on duty this morning and didn't arrive. I assume that maybe they stopped by the festival and had a few too many. But they still haven't showed up, so just wondered if you'd happen to bump into them, that's all.
Well, did we, when we came here, run across any guards? So, no.
That's a negative.
And also, if we had, how would we know that those are the two that are technically missing? I mean...
Well, you might not, but if you bumped into a couple of them that looked a little bit swayy, a little bit, you know. Just asking a question. So are you here to talk to the, those guards that we have in custody at the moment?
What's the plan?
Well, by all means, let's go downstairs and have a chat with them.
All right.
Let's do that. Let's go downstairs. That's not...
Togar just, like, immediately goes downstairs.
Good morning.
I gotta clear my good name. I gotta clear my great name.
Good name. Great name. Goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here this time.
Right, well, he's got one in this cell here and one in the topmost corners. Well, here they are. Feel free to ask away. Don't mind me. I'm just going to stand here and observe.
Gore, not to stop the momentum here, but I can't move Kyla. Kyla is gone. Kyla's run away.
I think Lilith might have kissed you when you wasn't looking.
Aww.
And now you're,
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
So, Thelonious, which one did you get the information from?
that was
Well,
this
yeah.
is the guy that basically blubbed.
yes, he the one up at the top there told me it was the both of them. But it was he who
So
spoke
he
first.
sold him out.
Well, with a bit of compulsion on my part, but yes.
So this one will be more mad. Let's talk to
Good
him.
thinking.
I'm just gonna watch Tolgar's actions.
Oh. Sir?
You looking at the guard is just kind of sitting
Yeah.
at the end of the bed and he just like looks up at you. What?
You mad?
Could say that. On the grounds that I'm on this side of the bars and I should be on that side of the bars.
I heard your friend over there sold you out.
Yes, he did.
Why would he do that?
Honestly, I don't know.
Did you guys have a deal?
Well, I mean, there's nothing to hide anymore. Obviously, it's all come out in the open. We were paid 20 gold crowns each to get 2 of the other guards to go and assist with a broken wagon. And 5 gold to allow a bearded gentleman to come down here to visit one of his friends. He was only down here a couple of minutes and then he left. And then it was a good while after that suddenly they all came upstairs and said that villainous Falcio had escaped.
So this guy you let in, what did he look like?
A young fellow, had a very tight trimmed beard, very fine clothing, and had kind of like a blondish hair and eyebrows. The beard was blonde as well.
Is he carrying anything? Weapons?
No, he wasn't allowed in with any weapons. We checked him to make sure before we let him downstairs he didn't have anything. I mean, we wanted it. We were willing to let him come down just speak, but we checked him out and searched him proper like. Didn't have any weapons, nothing stuffed in his boot, or no lock picks. Nothing that he could have slipped the would-be criminal.
Did he have a book on him?
No.
So just
Did he have a backpack that could have held a book?
No, just the clothes. Fine silken clothes and a belt.
Does his stomach look rectangle shaped?
No. He was
Okay.
quite a slim man, actually. Rather athletic and fit looking. Not someone I'd seen before, so definitely not anybody around town.
And in his absence, did you leave your post or hear anything from the guardsmen at the front of the building?
Not at all. Very quiet.
And the captain, was he in his office at the time?
No, Captain was out doing his rounds.
And was there anyone else in the building besides you two in that room and everyone who was down here?
Other than
The
guard
guard.
at the front door, no, that would have been it. The one at the front desk, us two in the main chamber, 3 guards in here, and that's it. At the time. Of course, most of them were all out there patrolling around and keeping an eye on the festival.
Did he make any hints of where he came from or where he was going?
No. He pretty much walked in, and we was just coming on duty at the time, and he stopped us before we walked into the establishment and said, "Would you fellows like to earn 20 gold crowns?"
His voice sounded like an old man.
Well, I don't really know. He just sounded a bit educated. But he said basically that he needed 2 guards to go and help repair a wagon, and he would pay 20 gold. Well, we was about to go on duty, but we said, "Well, we'll do it." He said, "No, not you two. Get another 2 guards." Which seemed a bit strange, but I mean, 20 gold. I mean, wait, you're going to pay us 20 gold and we don't even have to do the work. Well, that suits us. So we mentioned it, and a couple of others went off to take care of that. We went to our post. Then he came walking through the front door and said that he needed to go downstairs just to talk to a friend of his for a couple of minutes who'd been incarcerated. He slipped us another 5. We said, "Well, we'll do that, but we've got to check you." So we checked him thorough, make sure he didn't have any weapons, no mischief, nothing that he was hiding. And then he came down, and right enough, after a couple of minutes, he came back up. So whatever conversation he must have had was pretty short.
And this wagon in need of repair, was there actually a wagon?
Turns out there was not, no.
And where were these 2 guards sent to this perceived wagon?
North of town on the main road. They were gone at least a couple of hours.
North of town.
That's the town to Bamforth.
On the road to Bamforth, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, as I said, I mean, nothing strange happens. I mean, honestly, didn't really think we were doing anything wrong. You understand? I mean, a wagon load of innocent people in need. Come, you ask a guard to help out. They do. He's very grateful, gives us a bit of money, and then he just says, well, he wants to go downstairs, talk to his friends, and we say, well, we can't authorise that because Sergeant Reroll has to do that. And he said, oh, come now, I'll only be a couple of minutes. Slipped us another 5 gold. I mean, the man had paid us 50 gold. We didn't see any harm in it. I mean, we knew there were guards down here, so what could he possibly get up to?
So you said he was gone for a couple minutes only, right? And then he returns. Did you feel any gust of wind that seemed out of place?
Not that I could think of. He just came out and looked at us and said, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. And then he left. Nodded off, out the door.
And Did the door take longer to shut than you might expect
What?
for a single person?
I don't think
What does
so.
that mean?
Well, I mean, someone was invisible and have to hold it open for an extra person.
Yeah,
That'd be an astute
I mean,
thing
I
to
don't know about
recognize.
anybody being visible or whatever you said, but it was definitely on his own.
And the keys to these cells, the guards down here have them, correct? I mean, I would be surprised.
Well, typically and he kind of points across there. He said only 2 people ever have the keys at any one time. Sergeant Renaud has a full set of keys, and whoever is the cell watch of the day, like for today, it's him over there. And he points at this guy standing by the stairs. He goes, he has a spare set of keys, but he's not allowed to approach the cells. He has to pass the key to one of the other guards, and they approach the cell. But they only approach with the one key that's necessary for that cell. Standard procedure. For
I
security.
like procedures.
So that somebody can't grab the whole bunch of keys, you know.
It's messy. I get it.
So with that, he looks across at Sarge. He goes, so come on, Sarge, cut us a break. I mean, we didn't really do nothing wrong. I mean, you know, yeah, sure, we probably shouldn't have let him down here, but I mean,
Sarge, once a liar, always a liar. Keep him locked up.
yeah, no, Sergeant just looks at me and goes, oh no, he goes, I think he's probably telling the truth. But in regards to being innocent, well, I haven't decided what to do with you yet. I think I won't probably decide until at least the end of this week.
Also,
So you just need to stay put for a few days, lads.
let's also remember that weren't they trying to leave town last night? But Thelonious said as much.
Yes, indeed. Which is why that I believe that there may necessarily be some charges that need to come. But as I said, I'm not even going to contemplate those until after the festival. I've got other matters to worry about. I can only deal with so many investigations at once, and right now we're busy looking for potentially an imposter.
Anything else, guys? Thelonious, Kyla?
Do you remember what time of day it was when this person came about?
Oh, let's think, what time was it? Late morning.
Late morning.
Most of the guards were down at the festival. It was a couple of hours before you showed up.
Alright.
Or maybe not a couple of hours, maybe an hour, I don't know. When you're standing upstairs just staring at the wall, kind of hard to keep track of time.
I understand.
You have anything in Bamforth? This is why you were running that way?
No, we just quite honestly thought we were going to get into an awful lot of trouble and figured it would be a lot easier just to piss off.
And, Captain, the missing guards today, or those who have not returned from their drunken festivities, were they at all involved in what happened here? Like, were they the guards?
Oh,
I mean,
no,
I know you have
they
rotation.
They weren't on duty at that time. And it's a sergeant, I'm not yet a captain.
Sorry, my apologies. Were these two guards that we have come across at any point in time so far?
You've been here long enough. You probably, let's see, yesterday, if you were down at the festival, you may have seen them. In fact, I believe, yes, you did. They came and fetched you on my behalf. If you recall, I sent 2 guards to come find you at the festival grounds. It was those 2 guards.
Those 2.
Interesting.
Well, that doesn't make me feel any better, considering they're missing.
Well, if you're done here, I I need to go and find them. So, we can wrap things up. I'll go find my guards, seeing as they clearly haven't shown up for duty this morning. As I said, they're probably drunk and having a hangover.
Right. If I can just do one thing. I'm gonna go over to this other guard who basically spilled earlier, and I'm going to tell him to recount everything as he remembers to make sure there's no inconsistencies. Don't want that to turn into like an hour-long roleplay, but see if I can discern anything that might have been inconsistent that the other guy might be hiding. So I could turn into something. Sorry?
Yes.
I've heard you're a yellow-bellied scoundrel who's no good at all. I wanted to ask you some questions.
Fine, ask away.
Right, so regarding yesterday, you spilled everything. Regarding the day before that, when the guy went missing, just tell me everything as you remember.
Pretty much what he just said. Word for
Ah,
word,
but-
more or less exactly how it went down.
Nothing missed at all? Might help you out here?
Wish there was, but there just wasn't. Unfortunately, as I said, we're not very well paid. We haven't had a pay rise in a long time. Got a bunch of kids to take care of. Somebody offered us 20 gold to get a couple of guards to come and help them. Didn't see no harm in it. I mean, yeah, we probably shouldn't have let him come downstairs without Reroll, but we did invest. We did, give him a once-over. He didn't have nothing. And we knew that there were 3 other guards down there, so again, what harm could he have possibly done?
You have kids to take care of and you're about to skip town.
Well, only for the short term. I mean, come on, we just got my hands on 25 gold. I was going to make me way back in, rather up the wife and kiddies come night time, and go and stay with me aunt in Bamforth for a while. Let things calm down a bit.
You're really pathetic. I'm just gonna walk away. Alright, that's everything.
I hope you find the 2 guards.
I'm sure that they're just going to be at home, sleeping off a hangover. This is always a problem come festival. Even guards like to let their hair down once in a while.
Me too.
They would have been off duty. The problem is, while they're off duty, they may have indulged just a little too much.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the fact that festival's going on and we're very short-manned as it is, I wouldn't even worry about it. I'd let them sleep it off, but don't have time for that. So, right, well, gentlemen and ladies, if you could, let's get out of here for a little bit, so I can go find my missing people.
I guess we'll go back to the tavern, or does you guys want to look around town as well?
It might be good to aid in the search. At this point, we don't have any other leads. Sitting inside isn't going to make anything come closer.
All right.
Agreed.
Let's look around town.
Montage scene. Shopping. Trying food. Trying on sunglasses.
That dress doesn't suit you, Toga.
I did wear a dress. I remember Toga.
Alright, okay.
Yep, and yeah.
Okay, so once you come out of the militia house, where do you go?
Ah,
Outskirts of town, like the road, the perimeter of the town. Those roads. Just look around.
Alright, show me a direction.
I'd like to go past the artist house again. Because that's where all the wolf sounds are coming from. So.
Well, the wolf sounds were coming from the north of here.
So the northern road I'd like to take at least.
No, okay.
Even
I'll-
that weird
yeah.
road.
It'd be good to actually check on the farm It's been involved in a couple of things, and we've never even poked our heads around.
It's true.
Alright, so you want to head down the farm road?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, well, as you wander down the farm road, to the left is fields upon fields of, half the fields are, like, full of full-grown crops, the other half is empty. And down the end of the road, you can clearly see the farm itself, a nice-looking house with almost like a smaller guest house, a couple of barns, some grain silos, and okay.
So this is still early. This is still morning, right?
Yeah,
early
yeah.
morning. Okay.
All right. Yep, it is indeed morning. Move you in a couple of bumps here.
Oh no!
Damn it, Kylo! Why do you have to be right?
Okay, hold on a second. Let me fix this.
Oof.
I was entirely too cheerful for what's going on here.
The wolves!
All right, yes. So as you head down the main road, or the farm road, you are... First thing you see is up ahead on the left, right close to the beginning of the fields and close to one of the large trees, appear to be two brutally murdered individuals wearing a particular familiar guard livery.
Whoops.
Told you all we should have gone wolf hunting.
On top of that, you also see an individual laying face down in the dirt in the farm field itself.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna start approaching this one. Slowly and carefully.
I'm going to... Nah, best not to get them involved yet. I'm going to less slowly approach the body.
Tracks, right? Potential tracks?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Just get a good look at everything going on.
Okay. All right. So, Kyla, so you're looking around, looking for tracks and stuff like that. Go ahead and give me a survival.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, that's too
All right.
bad. That's
Okay.
really too bad.
You can see some long strides of a man wearing boots. They're about the same size as the individual laying face down in the ground. There are also close by some very large canine prints. Like big, large canine tracks. Which, probably would be consistent with a wolf.
Probably.
Only one. And looking like the situation, it's a good enough track roll. You can see where the wolf leapt.
Okay.
And probably hit the guy, knocked him prone, and then tore him limb from limb. The back of his neck is basically ripped. His back of his neck is ripped out. His spine is broken and snapped right at the base of his skull.
Well, now I know how he died. we know who this is. I'm gonna try and roll him over at this point because I'm pretty sure I know what happened.
Yes, you do recognize this individual. It is Valor Falcio, the man that you guys
Falcio!
Apprehended. The man that escaped from jail.
What?
It doesn't look like he got very far.
Huh.
Well, while that's happening, I think Thelonious and I are going to these two bodies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or is Thelonious just pointing at it?
Just like, look! Two bodies I see!
Really quick, I'd like to noticing who this person is and recognizing what is going on here, I would very quickly like to get a sense for his belongings.
Okay. So you start roughly checking him. Well, surprisingly, he broke from jail. So most of obviously he wasn't in jail with a whole bunch of his gear. However, he does have a gold ring with a ruby, a very nice ruby, on his ring finger on his left hand. Something that almost certainly the guards would have taken off of him.
Interesting.
I'll take it back off of him.
Okay. You slide it off of his hand. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
You die. No.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Huh.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
As you pull it off of him and pull it up to look at it, it smells funny.
Oh no! Oh, gross.
I know just the person for this. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of rub it in the mud to clean it.
Rub it in the mud to clean it, right?
Yeah. I'd rather it be muddy. Yeah, I'll pocket it regardless.
Okay.
For now.
All right. The only other thing he has is a very plain dagger that's kind of like tucked into his boot.
Lame.
Obviously, he must have acquired that from somewhere, but it's low quality. Probably, considering the quality of the clothes that the guy was wearing, and his obvious use of, remember with the dagger that he used to hold the girl hostage being so much more fine and elaborate, he probably stole this from somewhere in town on his as he made his escape.
Guys, do we want to report this, or do we just want to take him in for 1,000 gold pieces?
But you've got to get him to court. You'd have to get him to Iridian for that.
We could do it.
What did you find?
But
The ring
it's
to
Dalcio.
Thelonious, he likes to taste that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You're rubbing in the mud right there.
I'm going to be looking at the wounds of the guards.
All right. Okay. So the guards, give me a you know what check? A medicine roll.
Ooh, something I'm fantastic in. Aww.
Okay. It's very clearly obvious that their throats were ripped out by something. That you don't need to be anybody to
knows?
figure that out. But that's about all you can ascertain.
They ripped their own throats out.
They got into an argument over who
Sweat
could rip out the throat the fastest.
I bet I can.
A beautiful scene, Thelonious, huh?
Yes, it is quite gruesome. What did you see? What? I mean, I assume they were the wolves.
Yes. Who's that over there, Kyla?
It's Dalcio.
Falcio! Why are you laughing?
About everything you do, Jane. I'm sorry.
It's funny.
This is the way you're saying Falcio.
So he escaped, was spotted and chased, and then killed by wolves?
Well, he was killed by wolves. Well, a wolf. A large, angry, apparently, wolf. Wouldn't happen to know anything about that?
What are you rubbing in the mud?
nothing, just my hand. I touched it. It's gross.
Oh.
Well, Kyla, what about these? I mean, these two, their throats are clearly, but maybe wolf tracks here too.
Alright, you're gonna go over and investigate that little
Yep.
scene? Give me another
Survival?
check then.
Come on, rolls.
Damn!
What is
Wow.
this?
So totally Grissom CSI style. You get down, crouch, look at the different prints, look at the scene. It's like, okay.
It's ketchup.
The guards started walking over to the corpse. Like, initially their tracks were leading them towards the corpse. Then for some reason, they stopped. And it looks like the wolf was hiding behind the trees. And the wolf leapt out and attacked the two guards and pretty much basically ripped both of their throats out before they had chance to do a whole lot. Your assessment probably looks like they literally came here, saw the corpse, were going to go and investigate the corpse. The wolf was still in the area, and it attacked them before they had chance to do anything.
Well, that's too few a guards to worry about, I guess.
Incidentally, it is also the two guards that did fetch you, so now you know what happened to Renald's two guards that didn't show up for duty this morning.
Where's the farm people? I'm gonna look down the road to the house. Is there anybody around here, doing
in the
that?
distance, yeah, you can see a couple of people walking around, going from the barn back to the main house and stuff like that. But
I mean, they did say, the farmhand's wife did say, and the foreman said that they shut this place down in the evening.
Right.
But I would think they would be working late, considering it was the festival. Well, maybe not the...
Well, the fields are either... I mean, at this point, all the wheat is basically... They're not going to sow the wheat until after the festival. And they're not going to harvest the barley until after the festival. So it's the fields are kind of where they need to be for the next couple of days. So... And being that everyone's going to the festival... The quickest way to get to and from town is not by the road. It's to basically just walk straight across the field to the south. So it's entirely probable that they haven't been up here this far yet, this early in the morning.
Right.
You might want to warn them and maybe tell the guards of, the sergeant rather, that we found them.
He'll be happy about Falcio.
At a cost.
Well, it's just two guards. Who cares about them?
I'm more worried about this wolf. Can I tell which way the wolf would have left from all of my discerning, or would I have to...
The wolf actually left basically westwards across the field.
Okay.
But it basically got out of the field after probably no more than about 20 or 30 feet onto the grass, and then continued westward. You'd have to track it further than that if you...
I mean, my big thing is this man who's dead, who was a criminal wanted in Iridian itself, had an outsider helping him escape. I mean, so where's that body? Yeah.
Can you look for tracks of a person leading away?
Well, there weren't any.
None?
I mean, what's that? And I'm gonna point at the ground right behind Tolgar.
Spin around. I see tracks. Big ones.
I mean...
It looks like somebody came from town.
There we go.
There were 5 of them.
Oh, God. I don't think I'm that dumb. They're just mine. I'm no fool.
But why wasn't this man who escaped from prison with his friend who helped him escape?
Unless he needed him out for a specific reason. Once that reason was up, he didn't need him anymore.
So the wolf is under some control.
Likely. What reason would a wolf have to hunt down a man and then kill the witnesses?
Yes, it's no coincidence that it is the man who was taken who could possibly be a loose end to the person we are looking for.
Also, didn't you say it was only the tracks from one wolf?
One wolf.
Tolgar said earlier they hunt in packs.
Could this possibly be a wolf man?
Lone wolf.
So, are we looking for a wolf, or are we looking for the bearded guy who supposedly aided and embedded him to get him killed? Or are they one and the same?
Is it all Porthen de Wint?
Well, was there any clue on Thaltheo that would point to something other than just the wolf?
My confusion is, we have this individual who was a young man with a tight beard, the appearance of a lot of money, an athletic build, well-educated. It sounds a lot like the fake Reeve.
Well, it also sounds like a younger Thelonious.
Or the current Thelonious.
But the fake Reeve was, clothing-wise, that would fit, but the fake Reeve was indeed bald, if you're...
Yeah.
He did not have a beard.
Well, I'm not suggesting it's the same person, just
No,
like
I'm
it
just
has...
pointing that out.
Yeah.
Because it's been
Yeah,
a little while, so...
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So, if the wolf or wolves are under the control of the guy who broke him out, he was broken out to be silenced. That's what we're theorizing, right?
If you remember with the fake Reeve, he asked us a lot of questions and then had us wanted us killed.
Right.
His methods weren't quite as savage as this, but I think that whoever the individual in question is might be in a similar way where Thaltheo might be involved. He might have known something, and after getting that information, he was no longer useful, and that information being available became a danger, because had we found him, we could have asked.
Okay. So what do we do now?
What are the odds that the information he had was about us?
Well,
He
he
was
knew... Go ahead.
I was just thinking he was originally trying to leave. I don't think he would have much information on us other than we ruined his plan to leave.
Well, he knew that we came from Bamforth and that we had abilities and strength. So, do we report this to the captain or the sergeant?
I think so. The tracks seem to lead back this way.
So you want to follow the tracks as far as you think you can? If it leaves town, we don't leave town because we can't? Or do you
No.
not care and we should leave anyway?
Well, Tolgar can't leave.
Well, I think at this point he might be able to.
I also don't want to go and fight a gigantic wolf that can leap on people without Tolgar being between us.
Say my name.
Tolgar Wolfspine.
Damn right you want me there.
I mean, you guys weren't there, but he grappled a were-tiger with his bare hands. For many seconds, mind you.
At least 6.
It was much more than that, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It being one combat round, at least 6.
I mean, I'm not going up against a beast of the wild without Tolgar to lock.
Good. I think I'll be free to go though.
Yes, once we, I believe, turn Thaltheo in, show what the scene of the crime is here, Tolgar's name should be cleared post haste.
Well, we would return after hunting the beast anyway, so...
True. Yes, that is absolutely true. So let's just tell the sergeant.
Okay.
Let's find him in town and let him know of this.
Right.
Okay, so you
I
guys want to leave
him.
the bodies there and head straight for the sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We're such do-gooders.
Aren't you just? For a bunch of scumbags, you're doing certainly nice things. Where do you want to look for him first? I mean, obviously,
Down.
he could be absolutely anywhere in town, so...
Well,
He
down
said he
the
was
street,
looking for the
right?
tent. He said he was looking at the tent for them because he figured they'd pass out there or at their homes. So
Not sure. We know
We
where
could
the
just-
tents are. Yeah.
we could also ask for directions. Has anyone seen a guard with a floofy red hat?
Right. Okay, so you guys want to just pretty much wander the town.
Go to the tents. Okay, go to the tents first.
Okay.
Ask around, and then find them.
All right. Okie dokie. Okay. Yeah, well, you wander around town. It probably takes you about an hour or so to eventually stumble across him, heading back towards the militia house on the southern road.
Kyla, you want to say?
So he sees you approach and he's like, "Any luck? I didn't see him."
Luck might not be the word for it. We did find them.
Uh-oh. Why do I have a feeling that I'm not going to like what you're about to tell me?
Well,
Because every time we've come to you with something, it's been pretty dreadful, hasn't it?
well, to be fair, you're not going to like 2/3 of what we have to tell.
Well, you do tend to be harbingers of bad news, I must confess.
1/3 good news.
1/3 good news.
Well, maybe we
2/3
should wait until we get to
ripped.
the militia house before we have this discussion.
Maybe we would want to get to the site with some guards.
Oh, well, in that case, we're going to have to go to the militia house to fetch some guards.
Right?
Well, come along then. I suppose we better not tarry.
We did find Thaltheo.
Oh, but you didn't catch him, or didn't?
Oh
you?
no, he's
Oh, we caught him.
he's been caught.
Okay, you kind of see a look of "oh dear" on his face. All right, so he calls you into his office and says, "All right, come on in. Shut the door."
This poor guy.
Come on then. Let's have it.
Come on, Thelonious.
The farmhouse, the fields, there are 3 bodies. And 2 of them are your...
guards.
And one of them is a fugitive.
Wait, what?
Yes, he's dead too.
Thalma? Thalma Falcio.
Murdered by a wolf.
Yes, they are butchered by beasts.
Ripped by the throat.
Together? And
Okay,
why do you
so-
think we need to take a bunch... Oh, suppose you want to bring extra guards to carry the bodies back.
Yes, as to not cause a scene, maybe be able to create some barriers and try and maintain some semblance of peace.
Fortunately, of course, being festival, just about everybody is going to be down at the tents by now, so we can probably sneak them through town fairly inconspicuously. I mean, I'm used to apprehending vagabonds, thieves, burglars, murderers. Not much of a hunter, though. Don't typically have to worry about arrest. And I mean, and if it was a wolf that did it, not exactly a crime to prosecute anybody, is there?
Well, the trouble with that is,
Oh, unless you believe the wolf was a
part of
trained
foul
animal
play,
working on someone's behalf.
which it would seem too intelligent a job for an animal to just happen to do. Falcio was chased into the field and tackled, then had the back of his spine ripped out through the neck. After which, the two guards likely saw the corpse in the field and went to go see what happened, and they proceeded to get their throats torn out as well.
So they would have seen the animal attack them.
I think it skulked up on them and hunted them after seeing that they had seen or been commanded to.
Oh.
Or maybe they were brought out there. Lord.
That's possible. While that being said, I mean, that would have been on their patrol route late in the evening. You know, they do go ahead, as you well know. We consider the value of our wheat and barley very highly prized here in Corridon on the Mere. So it is customary for us to have the guards patrol along the fields and make sure that nobody's doing anything they shouldn't do where the crops are concerned. Perhaps
Would they have had their weapons?
Absolutely.
Did we
Perhaps they
find
just didn't have it
weapons?
drawn.
They had their weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The timeline is where I am curious. I mean, the attack supposedly happened when we heard the sounds, right, guys? That was in the evening. But the event that happened here with the escape was earlier in the day.
Right.
So Falcio had to go... He didn't make it far, which means he had to go somewhere to hide out. And that would assumingly be anywhere between here and where he was found.
Also found on his person a dagger which looked like it was lifted.
Probably. I mean, Falcio was a very, very skillful and skullduggerous individual. Once he escaped here, I very much doubt he would have been stupid enough to try to flee town in broad daylight. He probably tried to hide out here somewhere in town, kept a low profile until it got dark, and then probably thought he would make his escape. Obviously, my guess is, again, not stupid enough to go by the way of the road, so probably maybe was booking it across open territory to the north to avoid suspicion.
This criminal, if he was discovered in a hiding spot in someone else's house, would he kill the people of that house?
Oh, most probably yes.
So we should probably check all the houses between here and there to see if there's any dead bodies. Or at least evidence of his laying low.
I can certainly have guards take care of that, yes.
But there might be more bodies in this town than you...
said, he could have hidden anywhere. Could have hidden in a graveyard, could have hidden... shoot, who knows? A big town. Could have hidden in a barn. Could have snuck into the farm. Could have snuck into one of the barns or the grain silos at the farm even. Maybe that's why he was at the farm.
Considering how he got out of here, maybe he hid in plain sight.
Well, at this point, I wouldn't put anything past him.
Except continuing to be alive, of course. Which brings me to the next point. We noticed the tracks of the wolves were leading out due west there, and we were wondering if we could get your permission to hunt that wolf, maybe see if it led somewhere.
Why would you need... Oh, I see.
Because
Me.
Tolgar is...
You know I'm innocent.
Well, no is a bit of a far fetch. far stretch of the truth, but suspect. Speaking of, is there anything that would lead you to believe that the individual that killed young Josh Corwin, whilst looking like Tolgar, is any way associated with this particular incident? You see any conclusions? Any anything that ties these together, do you think?
Yeah, well, either that or you have a lot of murderous people in your town.
Well, I mean, as I've said, first of all, it is So Harvest Festival and a lot of strangers come for the festival. But I must say, in all my years as a guard, I've never had quite this many horrible incidences happen during a festival.
Mind you, most of these people have actually been locals of your town, not visitors, too.
Well, Falcio was not a local. But of course, the guards being killed, Corwin being killed, Ralph, Ralph was found, he was the first one that you found at the marketplace. Yes, it's just not the sort of thing we deal with here in Horrington. This is just really becoming a little bit overwhelming, to be honest. More than I really am used to dealing with.
I have a working theory if there's a possible connection, but I'm not saying that this is true. My investigation yesterday with my friends here proved me 120% wrong on another of my theories, so take what I'm going to say with a volume of salt.
Oh, absolutely.
The person who helped your criminal escape here, we suspect had magical ability to make your guards lose time. It was educated, athletic. There are spells that exist that allow people to change their shape and form. So if there was a connection, perhaps the one who made your criminal escape with magic made himself to look like Tolgar to kill Corwin. But that's not 100% certain.
I could see that being a possibility, but what would his motivation have been to do so? I mean, if his goal was to spring Valma Falcio the entire time, what was the need of this random murder looking like your friend?
Well, we did help the capture of the fugitive, and Tolgar was a bulwark to that end. Perhaps it was a side vendetta. Frame
like
the people who helped,
thing.
and then help them escape. Maybe.
Maybe.
Also, potentially the fear that we'd actually catch up on what he's doing before he could get out of here. Trying to slow us down.
I totally understand. Well, it's a theory, as you say. We'll see if it holds any water, I suppose. Under the circumstances, if you feel the need to go tracking down a wolf, as long as you don't go too far out of town and you make sure that you return back here, check in with me no later than sundown so I know for sure that you've returned, and we'll say no more about it. Please don't make me send people out after you. I really don't have many.
You really needn't worry. We are waiting for the priestess of the church to help us with some information gathering. So we need to be back here anyway. I could have sworn we said that already.
Well, but that doesn't necessarily mean that if you were somehow, if Tolgar did do this, maybe hanging on to that information might not be as valuable as getting out of town. Just as I said, it has to be said. That's all.
Fair enough.
It does it, but that's fine.
You hear somebody on his door. Oh, keep quiet about this for a minute, will you? Yes. Sir, we've got somebody at the front office. I think they're looking for that attractive young lady right there by the description.
Why would anyone be looking for...
Seem to be somewhat rather distressed at the moment.
for me?
I think so. He said that he went to the tavern, and they told him that you weren't there, but somebody said that they'd seen you spending an awful lot of time over at the militia house. So he came here looking to check in with us. I pointed out to him that, in fact, you were right in here with Sergeant Renault. He's a sweaty-looking individual. Looks like he's been riding quite hard, to be honest.
Oh, he is here for me.
Alright, when you get there, you can kind of see a man who's kind of looks totally bedraggled, exhausted, weary-eyed. And he kind of looks and he says, would you be Madame Edenwood?
Who's asking?
I've got a message for you, ma'am. It was I've come all the way from just south of Corthan. Actually, I've been riding for weeks. They paid quite handsomely for me to deliver a message to you.
Okay, at this point, I'm probably just gonna snatch it out of his hand.
Alright, okay. So you immediately recognize the penmanship as one of your girls. And obviously with the Garden of Eden being burnt down, you know, the situation being what it was, initially you had paid for them to stay in one of the nicer rooms at a tavern while you went off doing your thing. You left them ample money. It turns out that one of them got swindled by some young noble, and he robbed them of all their money, left them completely without means, and they have been arrested and locked away for being vagrants. And the authorities are planning to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. It turns out that one of the ex-council members spoke on their behalf and said that you were good for the money. You were implicit in helping them bring down the corrupt council, and that they at least owed it to you to have the opportunity to go and take care of this before they pass sentence. So this man was sent post-haste to fetch you and bring you back to Corthan. Unless, of course, you want your girls to be locked away and spend a long time.
Oh yeah, I'll just get new ones.
Yeah,
It's fine.
you can find them. Hey, there's one right sitting in there. I mean, I'm sure with a bit of gussying up, a bit of makeup, and a fine dress, you could do wonders with
Emlyn.
with Kyla.
Alright, so I'm gonna run back in here and not really saying anything about what's going on. I'm just like, I have to go.
Back to the tavern.
Back to Corthan.
Corthan.
We don't have time for this in Corthan.
I always have time for my girls, and they need me.
But we routed out the evil bastards.
Think you're more than capable of dealing with it. I won't be long, hopefully.
So you're leaving? Right now?
Right now.
So what if we find this woman you're after? What do you want us to do with her?
I think you're more than capable, Togar. Just have my name thrown in there somewhere.
That's the cheer, Paul.
Will she know it?
Well, I mean, she came after me, and I didn't know who she was.
Do you want us to bring you a trophy?
Oh, scalper, yes.
I'm gonna look sideways to the sergeant, like kind of like, I don't mean what I'm saying. But, you know.
I would like that very much.
The sergeant is so bewildered with everything that's going on in his town right now that most of this discussion is really just over his head. He looks He looks like a beaten man at this point. It's like the proud sergeant that you met on the road. This is the disheveled equivalent. He is just done for right now.
Okay, so I'm going to say, so Trophy, I mean, we'd happily bring it to you. But if we knew where you were.
Don't worry.
Fine.
I'll be around.
Well,
You
okay.
don't have to bet on that.
I've been around, so.
Well, Lilith, as you know, we will always share quite a connection.
I'm gonna wink at Thelonious.
Okay.
What?
How about a goodbye kiss to Thelonious? He deserves it.
No.
You don't need him passing out again.
No, I believe one is plenty enough, thank you.
Tolgar, I know you'll take care of this evil woman for me.
Of course. You have your own tribe to take care of.
And don't worry about me. My hips aren't wide enough.
No, they are not.
Well,
You're not bad for a man, Tolgar.
I'm going to actually rummage in. I'm gonna rummage in my pouch here, and I'm going to pull out the bracelet and ring from the fake Reeve that I totally stole.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hand him over and just like get to them as fast as you can. And I'm gonna hold it out for just to help pay for the way.
I'm gonna take it and like smile, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I think that if any of you had been there instead of my husband in my former life, that we would have went down fighting together. And of course, Thelonious and Kyla have no idea what I'm talking about, but with that, I'm going to turn around and just...
What?
Alright. He says, I've taken the liberty of arranging for 2 horses down at the stable. Also, just wanted to point out, there's a tall fellow, decked out in full plate armor, asking about you and your friends as well. He just mentioned, only inquired because when I said your description in the tavern, he'd come over to me and very politely said, oh, do you know this person? And I told him I had been sent to find them, and he said, what about companions? He particularly seemed very interested in one that was brutishly large, he said. But anyway, I honestly didn't have time to talk to the fellow, so I just told him, nope, don't know anybody else, you'll have to excuse me, and I made my way here as quickly as possible. But anyway, horses are available if you wish to get on the road immediately.
Yes, let's go.
Alright, okay. So he heads out, and you go down to the stable where he's already cashed his horse in for a fresh horse, and has got a second horse ready for you to ride like the devil himself back towards Corthan, which is going to take you at least a few weeks of travel. So there we go. Alrighty, and that's a really good place for us to stop it for this evening. So we will wrap things up right there. This. Alrighty, yes indeed. So that's a good place for us to wrap it up for tonight. We will leave it there. Nice, neat, and tidy with our heroes moving ever closer to finding out what the hell is going on in the freaking town. There we go. And let me pop up. Hey. Alright, so I know a bunch of you have already kind of started to ask questions. So to answer that question, yes. Spook does need to take a little bit of a break for some real life reasons. That's the reason we have written the story this way. And, I don't want to go... I'm going to let her speak for herself, but the bottom line is, as you know, she's had a hard time making some of the shows here lately. There's some things that she needs to attend to, so she's going to be taking a little bit of a break. I do mean break. So, once she gets things sorted out or whatever, then hopefully she'll be back here with us. But you know, I'm not going to explain it any better than she is, so I'll let her kind of speak for herself, and you know, there we go.
Well, guys, it's just like Gore said, it's just a little break to sort of focus more on my own project, or as well as my own physical and mental well-being and health and everything. I have a lot of stuff going on right now. And I just want to, when I'm on the show, I want to be able to devote 100% to you guys, because I love you guys and I love the cast. And I just don't see that I'm able to do that right now. So I feel like it's better to just step back and give it a break so I can get my spark and everything back and come back to you guys 100%, rather than just giving you 95% sometimes and like 40% another time, and just being inconsistent that way. So yeah, I'll be back. I'll be around. I hope to see you guys, you know, on my channel sometimes. I won't ever be streaming at the same time as How Reroll, so that won't be a problem. And I'm gonna keep up with what you guys are doing. So again, it's see you later, not goodbye.
Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on How Reroll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter @Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things How Reroll. Follow us on Twitter @HowReroll. Check out the website www.howreroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
Hey guys, Dragon Spooker here for How Reroll. Thank you so much for watching tonight. For something a little different, please check out my channel, twitch.tv/thedragonspooker. For stream times, follow me on Twitter via @dragonspooker. See you next time.
Hi, I'm the Satchmo. I speak for the trees. Thank you for watching How Reroll. If you want to see some more of me, you can follow me on Twitch and Twitter @Satchmo. If not, I guess I'll just see you next episode. I love you. Take care.
What's up, you guys? It's the Snuggler here, and I am back for my second How Reroll campaign. I've been given some guidelines. One is to not name the character that I'm playing. Score's probably gonna kill my character at some point. And two is to keep this as short as possible.
Jane is just so lazy. Oh.
So with that being said, so happy to be on my second campaign for How Reroll. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do so @MaddieSweetTweets. That's pretty much all I use. So check you there. If not, I'm always here playing for you guys.
Shagget here. I play a character on How Reroll. I'm not going to tell you who I play, because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. Already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter @Aneb_convos, and I'll see you guys on How Reroll.
Hi, Jane here. You may have seen me in such films as Rise of the Fallen or Lyra vs. Legend. Thanks for watching! You can follow me on Twitter @JaneOnTwitch. That's with a 0, not an O. Anyway, I gotta go. The cats. Peace, suckers!